Another Sixer Galaxy, SixerDaily offseason scenario. And here's one that they put together. Myself and SixerDaily created another offseason scenario that includes the acquisitions of Brandon Ingram and one of the best backup centers in the league. Now, is Brandon Ingram a perfect fit? I wouldn't say so. But if you look at how close... I look at Brandon Ingram right now as a much better Tobias Harris. Is he mostly a mid-range shooter? Yes. Does he not really enjoy stretching the floor and shooting threes? No, he doesn't. But if you just look at the team and say, you know, if Tobias Harris just gave us 15 points in Game 6, do we end up getting out of the first round? You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really that close. As much as we want to talk shit on the roster construction and how much the team sucks or whatever, they were actually that close. They just got no production from anybody outside of Embiid and Maxey. I mean, what did Game 6? They both had 30-plus points? And you got a goose egg from Kyle Lowry and Tobias Harris? Like, if you just got... They lost every game in that series by, like, less than 5 points. If you just had a third guy that could get a fucking bucket, they would have been out of the first round. They probably would have beat the Pacers. They probably would have been in the Eastern Conference Finals. So is Brandon Ingram a perfect fit? No. But if you would end up with Brandon Ingram, does it get you out of the second round? I think it possibly could when you look at the whole Eastern Conference and kind of how weak it ended up being this whole year. So there's a Brandon Ingram trade in here. Tyrese Maxey, 5-year, $205 million extension. Sign and trade Brandon Ingram, 4 years, 192. That's... $50 million a year for Brandon Ingram. $50 million a year for Brandon Ingram. Is this what we're doing now? I guess pretty soon $50 million a year will be like mid-high level basketball money because the best players are starting to get 65, 70, which is consistently blowing my mind because I don't know what you do with that much money. But $50 million a year for Brandon Ingram. And with him not being a perfect fit, because you would like a guy that stretches the floor a little better than him, you're committing to 4 years of Brandon Ingram. I don't like that. I also don't think Daryl Morey would do that because I don't even know if Daryl Morey knows who Brandon Ingram is. Let's see. We got a DeAnthony Melton signed, 4 years, $56 million. I like DeAnthony Melton as a utility guy off the bench. I love what he brings to the table with his just attitude, work ethic, the way he plays the game. He walks into the game in a hoodie and just gets shit done and doesn't talk. And I respect that and I love it. Partially because I'm so tired of the divas that have been on this team for so long. But the back issue last year scared me at only 25 years old. I mean, I guess if he's healthy, sure. Nicholas Batum, 1 year, 4.5. If he wants to come back, I'm all for it. Can we minimize his minutes? Sure. But Nicholas Batum's a guy that, he brings a lot of good things to the team. His catch and shoot ability, his quick trigger is great. It's so valuable. What you want on this team next to Joel and Tyrese, and his ability to set up Joel when they run the high-low with Batum and Joel, it was great. He's probably the best passing. He's definitely the best passing big man Joel's ever played with, and him and Joel Embiid created a level of chemistry last season. I'd like to see another year of that for sure. Cameron Payne, yes, please. Please re-sign Cameron Payne. Please re-sign Cameron Payne. I love Cameron Payne. That dude brings a level of dog off the bench that this team has not had for such a long time, bro. His confidence level is crazy. He comes into a game where nobody's doing shit, and he's like, you know what? Give me the ball. And he He just has an attitude like he is the best player on the planet every time he's on the floor, and I respect that so much. I love Cameron Payne. Yes, please. Kelly Oubre, yes, please. Talked about that a million times already. I want Kelly Oubre back. Pause. Kelly Oubre, Cameron Payne. This is a good supporting cast. If you landed Brandon Ingram in the trade, and then Kelly Oubre, Cameron Payne, Batum, DeAnthony Melton, and if everybody stays healthy, then, so here's what they wrote down as part of the Brandon Ingram sign and trade. They will be trading Paul Reed. They will be trading a second-round pick. They will be trading our pick number 13 in this year's NBA draft, 2026. No, that's 2026 pick swap. That's the best between OKC, Houston, LA, which came in the James Harden trade. They would be trading the unprotected 2028 first-round pick from the Clippers. Ooh. Is that what that is? No, it would say Clippers there. That's the Sixers' own 2028 first-round pick, which I don't actually think is tradable. I don't think they can trade their own first-round pick until 2029 because of NBA rules on trading first-round picks. So I don't think that's possible if you're talking about the Sixers first-round pick. And if you're talking about the 2028 Clippers unprotected pick, absolutely not, because that pick is going to have insane value, and it could possibly be at the top of the draft by 2028. And you don't trade that for Brandon Ingram. But if you change this 2028 to 2029 first-round pick, maybe that's it. And then they have a Nasr Reed trade. The Sixers trade their 16th pick this season in this upcoming draft and 3 seconds for Nasr Reed. Nasr Reed was an absolute dog for the Minnesota Timberwolves in the playoffs this season, and as a backup center, yes, absolutely. If you could get Nasr Reed for the 16th pick in this lame NBA draft that's about to happen in 3 seconds, 100% yes. So you get an actual backup center who, sadly, I just don't think Paul Reed is that guy. He showed us last year that he's not. Brandon Ingram, Nasr Reed, re-sign these guys. That's pretty good. And here's what the starting line. Here's what the lineups would look like: Tyrese Maxey, DeAnthony Melton, Brandon Ingram. That's a terrible picture of the guy, man. Nick Batum, Joel Embiid, Kyle Lowry, Cameron Payne, Kelly Oubre, Ricky Council, Nasr Reed. Hopefully Ricky Council is much more of a part of the rotation this season. I'd still rather a younger, more athletic, bigger point guard than Kyle Lowry right there. Kyle Lowry is 79 years old. I like what he brought to the team last season, but I'm good off Kyle Lowry. I don't need Kyle Lowry back, even though they're probably going to do it because Nick Nurse loves him and Daryl Morey only knows players older than 35 years old. And then their remaining assets. Is this their assets? I can never figure out if they're talking about this is their assets before all of these trades go down, or this is their remaining assets after all these trades go down. 5 first-round picks, 4 second-round picks, a future pick swap. So there's that, man. It's not the best option, but if you guys that are arguing you shouldn't be chasing aging superstars, you should be chasing depth, then this is definitely probably the best way they could build depth without build depth while not signing somebody like Paul George or trading for Jimmy Butler.